Scientist, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I know that you're very low-key, you're a hugely successful businessman, but then you don't take that many interviews. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
That's it. Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Sally.
You're a legendary person to me because I digged out some of your personal experience. So from what I read, you made a very bold decision at age 40.
Yes.
As a family man with 2 sons. And when you made it redundant, you remortgaged your own home and you put everything all in and build the brand Hill. Can you tell me a little bit more about that special moment? Like, why do you go on? It must be risky, must be scared, or can you tell me more about that moment?
Yeah, of course I will. I think it was one of those life-changing moments. You get to the age of 40, I'd been working for someone else for 21 years, so joined them at 19 and had risen up from a surveyor all the way through managing director, and I became chairman of their housing division and main board director, quite a large company, I won't say who. And then at the age of 40, I was made redundant, totally out of the blue.
Oh.
I didn't see it coming, so setting up Hill was not a planned route for me. It was in response to really being made redundant and my position no longer being available. And I went around and had a couple of interviews with competitors at the time and thought, well, if I don't ever give it a go now at the age of 40 to go by myself, I never will. And I got a bit of encouragement from friends and other people in the industry and said, well, you ought to give it a go. And sure enough, I took those brave steps and type of remortgaged my home and put a lot of money into a startup business. So it was a complete startup. There was no track record of the business, and I've built it up year on year from that humble beginning in 1999.
Yeah, 1999. What is the beginning like from the very beginning? Did you build one house, number of houses?
I specialised in affordable housing previously, so I went back to what I knew best. And my first job was really picking up, it was doing things which other people didn't want to do. So my first job was actually completing a tenant in situ refurbishment project in London for a housing association client. So it was a building contract, which I took on because it was very difficult because all the residents still lived in the block and we were dry lining their walls and carrying out alteration works. And that was my first job. So, and it type of snowballed from there. So I didn't do my first residential property myself until about, it was 2002.
3 years later.
Yeah, 3 years later when I bought my first piece of land in a type of village just outside London on the M25 called Brookman's Park. And I then built 2 £1 million houses.
Oh, that's actually a big start.
And it was. They were, you know, very expensive.
Back then, 2002.
Yes, so they were type of over 4,000 square feet each.
Okay.
So, and we actually won, my company won Best House Builder of the Year for the from Sunday Mail readers. So that was my first ever award too, on completion of that about a year later.
So that's kind of a change, wasn't it, from affordable housing and then to really expensive houses?
Yes, oh yeah. It was always what I wanted to do. I wanted to have a mixed business moving forward. I was never permitted to run that type of business when I worked for someone else. It was only affordable. And so that was part of my plan when I did decide to go by myself. But I very much wanted to type of build and sell my own private homes too, as well as affordable homes. And that's what I've continued to do. And hence we have the 2 brands, Hill Residential, which does the private for sale, and Hill Partnerships, which does our type of contracting work for local authorities and housing associations.
Oh, I see. So that's the two different brands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I
within the Hill
knew
group.
today. That's why it's called the Hill group.
Yeah.
And also, you're such an interesting character because from you I see the conflicts, the perfectly matched together, humble beginnings, yet now so successful, affordable housing and luxury properties. It's kind of like the mix of both words. Yes.
It is quite unique that we do both, and we do some quite high valued properties. So what we tend to do on the private for sale housing is more bespoke projects. So they're not so much standard house types. They're type of built bespokely around the site conditions, and a lot of apartment-led schemes with great architecture and placemaking. So that's one of our type of key focuses now, is about placemaking and where we build those homes. So we think we're a bit different from the run-of-the-mill house builder.
Yeah. So back to the first two residential expensive houses that you built. When you bought that piece of land, why that piece of land? Was it the location? Was it neighborhood? Well, why did you buy that piece of land?
It was really the opportunity which came up. So it wasn't an area I knew well. It's in Hertfordshire, but as I said, very close to the M25. And I just saw it as taking these two large detached properties. I saw an opportunity to do something very special, and indeed it was proven to be quite special, and we sold them with quite easily actually in the end, and went on to win some awards for this quite small innovative development.
Yeah, for the first project
the first project.
Why do you think you won the prize? Why did they win the awards? What's so special about it? There's other developers who are building houses, expensive houses, but why this particular two? And that was the first time you ever actually do something you really want to do for yourself. You must have put a lot of thoughts and efforts, but then in what way do you think the house won?
I think they were slightly different to what a lot of people was building at the time. They were quite open planned.
Open plan.
Which wasn't quite so common back in 2002. They were large. They were well finished, so they had some very nice fixtures and fittings. So built to a good standard, and I used a small architectural practice, and they were very much a bespoke build using high quality materials. So I think that's one of the reasons it seemed to capture the imagination of the Daily Mail type of readership. So hence we got voted best house in Britain.
Why did you choose open plan back then? If there's nobody else is doing that, or very few houses are doing that, why did you see that and do it?
I saw it as an opportunity to do something
different.
Different. I just saw it as a vision that something. I've never really built anything which I wouldn't like to live in myself or couldn't live in myself. So that's one of the rules I go by. So hence a lot of my own type of skill went into designing, helping the architects design those homes for me. So I was very much involved because the company was very small then.
And also you say you started as a surveyor, so you have this kind of professional specific knowledge.
Yes, yeah. Yes. So fortunately I'd done most things within the industry. So I started as a surveyor, so that's got financial management, and then I moved on and was running sites as project managers before I became a construction director, and then MD, and then chairman. So I was very fortunate. I got a very good experience at quite a young age at the time, using other people's money. So when I came to do it myself, I thought, right, I knew what to do.
You're going to start from the beginning
and
again.
I'm not going to make the same mistakes, but maybe perhaps someone else's. So learn from your mistakes. We all make mistakes, but you have to learn from them and don't repeat them.
And the 20 years down the line, when you're looking back at that life-changing moments, back then, were you ever thinking that or visualize today, this office?
No, I didn't actually. I decided that or my initial plan was to cap the company off at about 40, 50 million in activity and have what I described then as a nice life. But I'm very competitive at work, and I really started enjoying it again. I felt let down when I was made redundant because didn't know what I'd done wrong. The company was profitable, the bit I used to run. So I think once I started and the business started to become successful, I got my mojo back, and then I wanted to continue to grow, and hence I've continued to grow the business type of year on year for the last 26 years now.
Wow, yeah. You must be really resilient. I mean, be made redundant, especially unknown, that must have done something to a person's confidence.
Yeah, you end up doubting your own ability. At first I did, thought, why me? Because I didn't see it coming. And then lots of people said, well, I don't know why they got rid of you. You're a good person. So I had lots of good encouragement, and people were very good to me, and hence why I owe a lot to the industry. I had help from not just supply chains, clients, professionals. I had help from competitors even, type of giving me encouragement and helping me out. So yeah, I can't complain. The industry's treated me very fairly, and hence I'd like to put something back in, and hence why I do so much for our management trainees. We have over 135 of those now in training at any one time, and generally take on between 30 and 40 every year, and I can see that number going up.
Do you enjoy doing that when you train?
I do. I love taking on the new people because that's how I started. We've got a number of people who started with the business at 18 after their A levels. I've perhaps got 5 or 6 of my directors who have come up internally through our training system, which I think's a great credit to everyone else that works through the business, that we can bring on this young talent and give them great opportunities at an early age.
And also, in a way, you're giving back in your way as well, because when you are going through the doubting yourself period, it's other people's encouragement and help made you grow. So you kind of giving this back to the young people, young generation, pass on the good things.
Yeah, I think also the way I look at it, that some of those people won't stay for us forever. And I even get pleasure out of if someone leaves us who's come up through that system, because if we're not fulfilling their ambitions, I understand that. And they go on to do very well elsewhere and become a director or start their own company. That gives me great pleasure too.
Oh, that's brilliant. I need to learn from you about that. Yeah, because I'm an employer as well. Yeah, you go through the different internal journeys about, people within the company and partners. Yeah, that's a great thing that I've learned. So 20 years down the line, now Hill's already here. So you created an identity, like
yes, a brand.
A brand. So brand actually now has its own life. Would you say that?
Yes.
It's 26 years as a human being. This is like young, like youth now, right? If we consider a human 100 years, if we consider company as a human, so 26 years, that's kind of at a prime, very young, but prime age. But if you want your company to be 100 years, 200 years, so you are still at the beginning.
Yes.
Yes. So from looking back at these 26 years, what is the value that you think, the invisible things that actually kept the company going?
Oh, that's a very good question. I think one of our key successes has been our work in partnership. So we very much value our clients and customers, so repeat business. I'm always a great believer that the most important job you're doing at the moment or is for the next job. So, you know, if you've got a client or customer, you've got to retain that client and customer, and it's not, we never look at anything as on a one transaction basis. So we always believe our customers and clients are gonna come back. So we want to build long-term relationships. So it's about giving trust, giving people a good experience. We don't always get everything right first time. We try, and we get most things right. But if you don't, it's about how you fix those problems.
And also the attitude as well.
Yeah, and then it's about how you face into those. So, you know, I really have founded the company on the basis of, I liken myself to, I really wanted to be the, it's a term in English, the type of the John Lewis of the construction industry, because they've got a very good brand and are never knowingly undersold. So we want to give people good value for money. And just because you give good value for money doesn't mean to say that you can't make a profit. It just means that your processes, your procedures, your work ethic has just got to be better than everyone else's. And that's what we're always trying to achieve here at Hill.
Yeah, that's great. And also, this is a very sustainable business model. So when you have this long-term mindset, are you planning to have Hill for a long time?
Yes, I'm planning it. We're privately owned.
Yes.
We're a top 10 house builder, and there's only one other house builder in the top 10 who's privately owned, and that's the Bloor Group. So we're quite unusual. And then perhaps in the top 20, there could be one other who's privately owned, but most of them are either PLCs or have got private equity in them. So we've got no private equity in our business. So we've grown off our own balance sheet by keeping the profits retained in the business to grow the business. So we can make our own decisions and do what we believe is right for our clients and customers alike, as opposed to being driven by margins and shareholders who are demanding of us and things which we don't really want to do. So I'm very conscious of type of remaining privately owned. Very fortunate that I've got family members in the business, so we do have first generation succession in the business. So I have my two sons. So that's very good.
And they have a very different skill sets as well.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They do. So I very much hope that can be continued, and you know, that will continue, and hopefully it will remain in private ownership and continue to be a family managed business. Doesn't mean to say that we make the wrong decisions. It's just done with, I think, the values of all our staff, and we can retain that values which we set out to contribute back to the community, back to other stakeholders. So we're in control of that. So it's not just about the bottom line. We want to build great places, great communities, great homes. We want to build value for our customers and clients. So that's success for us. You know, it's all part of the team, really.
So in an ideal scenario, do you want the company, what's the most important thing for you for the company in the long run? To have, let's say, a number of staff, or to the existence last for centuries, or make a certain amount of money? I know this is not what you're aiming for. But then what will, in an ideal world, what will be your legendary result for the company? I ask this question is because when I set up SJW, the brand, it's 10 years. We did a 10-year anniversary party last Friday. So my vision for it is I wanted when I retire, SGW has 100 employee staff. I want this company to be at least 100 years old, at least. At least I want this company still exist when my life ends.
Yes.
Because I find, human beings, their life is kind of very insignificant in a way. And if I choose to dedicate a very long number of years of my life to a brand, I want this brand to have some impact, to take on its own life and live on. So that's in an ideal world for me, to live on for as long as it can. For me, that's the priority. In an ideal world, what is the?
I don't think I'm a lot dissimilar to yourself, actually, Sally. I'd like, what's important to me is building great developments where people want to live. We build communities. People want to visit because they're seen as great examples of how housing development should be built with purpose, putting communities back into so that they work really well. So it's about the whole experience. We're not just trying to build a series of homes on various sites. We're trying to leave, I'm trying to leave some legendary landmarks in some of our developments. That's what success would look like for me. And I suppose those which would be most successful would be the really large mixed-use developments, which we're beginning to get into now, which have got, not just all forms of residential tenure, but a lot more commercial. They could have office, they could be based around transport nodes and railway stations. We're getting into larger developments where we want to create our customers and clients a really sustainable place in which to live and see values grow, but also be a great place to live and have fun and bring up families and have good life experiences.
We have been knowing Nice Park for 4 years. Yeah, been working on this project for the past 4 years. I can tell you that, when Icon launched, all of the clients who bought Icon, they were our existing clients. And a couple of them already own a property on Nice Park. But they find it's too small for them. They like the development. They want to move on to a bigger one. So instead of living in 1 bed, they move on to 3 bed.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that's
a repeated customer. Repeated
that's
customer
what we
for
want.
you.
And I think that's a great example where the place has now become alive. It's taken a few years.
Because when I was selling that, when we went in there in 2021, the hotel was not there.
Yeah.
The school, they were sort of there, but they're not open for taking on the student. After that, the ranking was not there.
No.
And also the community center was okay. Was there? Sainsbury was there, but then you don't have the vibes that we have now.
Not all the other independent outlets. And I think they're so important, those independent outlets, when you're building a community. People like outlets where they're not high street brands, and you can really bring some different offerings where they're quite different. So we're just delighted to have been involved in that, learned from our experiences there and taken them onto new developments to again improve on that and even better that one. So
I think that's a fantastic project. And then Dagenham Green, I think in 10 years time that place is going to be transformed. And I did a research. Dagenham Green, Hill Group's first office in London, was that in Dagenham? One of the very first ones?
Yes. My first office was in Dagenham.
Yeah, I did a research.
Yeah,
I dig
that's
that
it.
out.
Yeah, it's a few miles away from there, but in the real cheaper end of Dagenham, at the other end of Dagenham. Yeah, just to get started.
Humble beginnings.
Yeah, humble beginnings.
Greetings always come from the
just to get a London telephone number.
London telephone. That was really cool. I'm a Hill customer myself as well.
Ah, good.
Yeah. So Andy, you're such a people person. I can really feel the warmth. you know, to talk to a successful businessman like you, like sometimes I have this concern. Will that people be very arrogant, or, you know, just be really tough and don't really open up and talk to you? You know, some people, they are like that.
Yeah.
But we still have, I have nothing, I feel nothing. I just feel warmth and very, just where I feel very comfortable.
Good.
Sitting in front of you. And also you mentioned about, you know, you have these training programs and everything. You must be very proud of your team, you know.
Oh, I'm extremely proud of my team. I mean, I couldn't have achieved what I've done in the business without the input of the team. Got an excellent team of people, and everyone makes a contribution. And you can't really value where people sit, because people are all important. You know, you're as important. You can be just as important on the front desk as what you can as being one of my sons, as perhaps even the deputy to me. So you know, all people play their part, and we call ourselves Team Hill as a result of that.
Team Hill.
Team Hill.
Team Hill.
Team
wow,
Hill.
that's
Yeah,
cool. That's
that's
very cool.
That's what we call ourselves, Team Hill.
So what is the Team Hill has done? If you have to pick up one thing that the Team Hill has done make you the most proud, what was that one thing?
Oh, I would say it's the general work ethic to do the best we can for our people and for our customers.
They carried your value.
Yeah, they carry the company's values,
value.
and work exceptionally hard to achieve the best that we can. So everything's done with the best of intent. And it's difficult. We employ basically 1,000 people. So that becomes a little bit more difficult. So I think that's the thing I'm most proud
1,000 people.
of.
Oh my God! When you have a Christmas party, where are you gonna have the Christmas party? To put 1,000 people.
We used to have very big Christmas parties, but
it's very hard.
yeah. We've tried to stop them of recent, unfortunately.
That's very hard. Yeah, to have 1,000 people just to find a venue.
It was extremely hard, and we used to invite their partners too.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's gonna
so
be 2,000.
We used to have perhaps attendees, 1,200 people, you know, because not everyone decides to come.
Yeah.
So very big Christmas party.
If you ever decided to do any parties, Mr. Andy, I want to invite myself to.
Yes,
it's going to be fun.
Our parties used to be really, really good. So
I can do magic. I can be of
we have magicians at parties.
I'm free. I can do magic.
Yeah, we'd have lots of magicians there too. Lots of entertainment.
Yeah. Excellent, excellent. So now, Andy, I'm a Chinese, right? Like I've been working with working with Hill Group for close to 5 years now. I'm very happy. We have a very happy working relationship, and because all our clients, they like Hill products, they become our repeated customer because of your product. So that's why.
Delighted to hear that.
Yeah, they're very happy. Yeah, a lot of good feedbacks.
Good.
So for the Chinese market, I want to ask you some questions specifically for this market. For Chinese families wanting to invest in properties in the UK, what is your advice for them?
It depends what they want, whether it is just purely as an investment or if it's I think a lot of our customers do have an aspiration at some point to live in the properties they purchase. We have very good links with a lot of the major cities where there's exceptionally good universities, so such as Cambridge, Oxford and Bristol. So they're three of our key cities in which we build. We're obviously active in London too, but that's a vast place. The other three we are, I would say, quite a dominant developer in those other three cities. And I think that's one of the key things we do offer Chinese investors and people who want to invest in property. It's a unique proposition because not only have they got their investment, their property, but they've always also perhaps got their aspiration that if their child wants to carry on in education or do some time living in the UK, the locations in which we build are some of the best in the UK. So I'd say that's something we would very much say they should take into account. Also, I believe our properties, because they're bespokely built and not a product which is replicated across a number of sites, which lots of our competitors do. They build the same house types wherever they build. Our properties seem to hold their value, I would say, stronger. So our properties may seem more expensive initially, but our specification and space standards are a lot higher. So we don't have any extras. Everything's included in our properties. And likewise with the space standards, our floor plates are always larger than our competitors. So I think overall we give very good value for money on the capital side of it. So they perhaps don't gain from that on the yield side of it initially, but as a long-term investment, they will do very well if one day they decide to sell that property on, because our properties will hold their value far better.
Because we have a solid track record on Nice Park, this development actually. So the first property we sold was in 2021 May. First unit that we sold was a studio apartment, come with a car park. We sold it at £321,000 with 600 something, 47 or something pounds.
Yep.
The first year we rented at £1,100. We've done full tenancy now. Now the current rent is $1,750.
Wow, that's exceptionally.
Last year was even better, 1,800. But then because last year we got purely lucky, so the rent got slightly higher. And this year 1,750, but that's brilliant return, even for rental return.
Yeah, it was quite a high. But Cambridge is like that. The yields aren't great around Cambridge on property generally, but they do. You know, the capital value on that property is most probably increased quite substantially too, if that customer decided to sell it on.
Especially with the houses, I find the house in Nice Park, they were beautiful.
Yeah.
The first house we sold was a 4-bedroom, semi-detached house in 2021 as well. That was just around 950,000.
Yes.
Yeah. That value has definitely gone up.
Yeah, and they're very large, our
they're
4-bedroom. Very large.
They are very beautiful.
What other people do.
Yeah.
Very unique.
Very unique, that one. So how about in London? You have a project in London as well.
Yeah, our products in London seem to be, at the moment, some of them are on lower value sites, but we've got some coming through in areas on the south side of Hackney, getting more towards central London, where product prices are a lot more expensive. So we've got a more mixed price point coming up, but that they can range. You know, as you mentioned, Dagenham Green is quite a cost-effective investment for your type of customers from overseas. But then we've got others in others in other locations which are higher capital values in London, too, coming through, which will be on the market very, very soon.
Dagenham Green is such a big, large project.
Yes.
Why did you pick that land?
Well, we were looking at the growth we think we can achieve there for some of our overseas customers, because when you buy into a place and you create a new place, and that's what we're doing there, the park's just going in at the moment, and all the shops are being let. All of a sudden you will see that will transform, and it will go from a building site with a couple of buildings on, and you'll be looking back in 3 or 4 years' time and thinking, wow, you know, our customers have got all of this and prices will rise. So it's a proper regeneration project.
Yeah.
And we like regeneration projects.
To transform
They
the
transform the place and people's lives.
place. I like to hear about this because I bought there as well. So
Ah, good.
for my
Yeah, you bought well then.
Thank you from you. Yeah, and also, Andy, you have been awarded OBE as well. So what does that mean to the Chinese word?
Ooh, what does that mean to the Chinese word?
What
I
is
would say
OBE?
it's an award. I was fortunate the king. I was awarded mine by the king. He'd just taken over, and it's really a type of status in this country of really the community work certain individuals have perhaps done for society.
For the Chinese market, for the Chinese end users, what's your vision for this particular sector of markets in the next 5 years or 10 years?
Oh, it's another difficult question, Sally. I think how I'd like Hill to be, I'd like Hill to become a known name in the Chinese market. I'm not sure that we are yet. They would perhaps recognise a Berkeley Homes, and I would really want to type of become and compete with Berkeley Homes or become the new Berkeley Homes of the house builder of choice, where people would want to go to. I think that's what I would see as what success would look like for us in the Chinese market. So we've got to continue to work hard on our brand, our products, our offering to customers, the variety of products we can offer. So across a variety of price ranges, you know, both lower value products and higher value products, and continue with building a successful brand which is respected by the Chinese market, for giving that good value for money and being known as someone who is never lonely undersold. So that's where I would hope to be in 5 to 10 years' time.
I'm sure you can do it.
The quicker, the better.
The quicker, the better. You already have quite a few, even only from my company, you already have quite a few repeated customers, Hill repeated customers. So I think it's definitely you're going to make that a new reality. Yeah.
Well, I hope so too.
Thank you so much, Andy, for your time today. Much
well,
appreciated.
Thank you, Sally. Been a pleasure.
Thank you.